At what moment did you know you FK'd up? Someone pulled the fire alarm in my building. I went outside to see what was up, but there was no fire. I walked down 3 flights of stairs to get to the one that was pulled and see if there was anything amiss. It was 2 in the morning and I can't say that I was completely in the moment. First thing I noticed was the bloody handprint on the wall. Then the trail of blood going out the back door. I called the police and was directing them to our building when I noticed that my feet were wet. I looked down and saw that I had been standing in a puddle of blood and my socks were now saturated. Here's an excerpt of how the call went after I noticed this. Me, hey up. So I'm not sure if you get asked this much 911. Go ahead. Any information may be helpful me. I just realized I'm standing in the blood. Do I need to stay where I'm now? It's kinda gross. 911. No sir. You don't need to stay there me. Do I need to take off my socks or anything? Are they evidence now? I don't know how this works. 911. No sir. You can just get out of the blood and clean yourself me. Okay. But do I need to? 911. Get out of the blood sir me. K. Lol, so you notice the bloody handprint, but not the puddler of blood. Did they figure out what happened? I'd heard someone got stabbed. The rest of the semester will be online. We don't give partial degrees, so tuition and fees will remain in full. Like your degree. Lord, I can't believe I even have to ask this, but with the quotation marks, did a school actually send this out? I asked a woman when she was due. She told me she wasn't pregnant. You learned the hard way to never, ever ask a woman if she's pregnant. And I mean never, not even when the baby is halfway out. There is an exception when you are at the beach with your daughter and a woman in a bikini asks you how old your granddaughter is. When my teacher was teaching about empathy and we read a passage about a girl with no legs, I said loud enough for everyone to hear. How am I supposed to put myself into her shoes? Let's just say it did not go well. That's terrible. How could you be so cold? Lol, I couldn't resist. When my mom called my first, middle, and last name, told her to hold on because I needed to write my will. Oh god. Too late now. On the bright side, it's your cake day. I used to use tongs to get toast out of the toaster. I live with a physicist who tried to clean a sandwich toaster by submerging it in water. I was able to stop him and remind him to unplug it before. Was he doing it in the bathtub? Grade 6. Came home for lunch, eating sandwiches with the family on the back patio. The family decided to tease me about some girl, so I said she was a slut, not knowing what the word really meant. The dead silence that greeted my silence told me that word meant a lot more than she's a mean girl. I did sort of the same thing when I was about 8. At Easter dinner, me and the family were having a conversation about something I don't remember, and I responded, "Those bastards." I had heard it on TV. Well, the table went silent and everyone stared at me. I didn't get in trouble because I didn't know what I was saying, but I got a stern talking to on what I did wrong. Lucky. Once I called someone a cunt without knowing what it meant, and I got grounded for a month. When I finished half a gallon of prune juice and my stomach started rumbling. Thought it was just a hokey home remedy. Boy, was I wrong. A warrior's drink. Kapla. When I told her that I was done with her forever, and then my friend said, "Dude, you got the N64 back before you broke up, right?" Big R.I.P. lol. How broken was it when you went to get it back? It ended up working out in the end. She refused to give it up for a long time, reasoning that I could come get it if I really wanted it. I had moved back home to New York from Texas, so it wasn't super feasible. So she used it as a way of not fully severing contact. After arguing about it a bunch of times, she finally sent me my N64 and games. So I got off easy, I guess. A couple of them, like Conker, she next sent back, but she sent my Ocarina, which was a present from my older sister who has since passed away, and that particular copy is worth a lot to me. when my dad called and told me I was on his work's terrorist watch list. Earlier in the day, I had been caught by the police urban exploring, trespassing, and they took me and my friend's information and gave them fines. I was under 18, so luckily I didn't get one. I figured since I didn't have a fine to pay, I could hide this from my parents. My dad is a chemical engineer, and so their plant has strong security, including a watch list for any potential break-ins or other mischief, as many of their chemicals could cause harm if used improperly. Apparently trespassing was bad enough of a crime to have my name show up on that list, and my dad came home more confused than angry. The words terrorist watch list terrified me, and I confessed the whole thing to them. Luckily, they weren't mad and actually enjoy urbex as much as myself. Honestly, I expected the end of this story to be your dad beating you up. I thought it was going to end that way too. When I was staring at an Excel spreadsheet during the 13th hour of my workday and realizing that they are making me do 2 jobs, but paying me based on the one that was cheaper, I was only in my 3rd month at the job. Did you quit? Or ask for a raise? Or anything? They wouldn't give me much of a raise. They do feed me if I'm here super late and allowed me to still get overtime. Benefits are really good, so I feel a bit stuck here lol. When I was a kid I was up playing Minecraft at like 2 in the morning, and my mom walked in unannounced. She starts yelling at me and asking why the duck I'm awake, in the most deadpan, tired voice an 11-year-old could have. I said, "You're awake too. Ick now. I could ask you the same ducking thing." Needless to say I got my ass handed to me after that, and I got grounded for a few months lol. Edit for clarification, 2 in the morning. Guys, 11-year-olds say things they regret when they are tired. When I was young I rode the bus to school. My mother left for work before my bus came, so the routine was, while she was getting ready she would yell my name and make sure I was at least moving before she left. One morning during her yelling from her bathroom I told her to shut up already. I ducked up, while my head is laying peacefully on my pillow, asleep. She sneaks in and slaps the duck out to my face. My head must have bounced 2 feet of the pillow. I was up after that. I've done this. Are you one of my asshole kids who stress me out every duck-eyed morning? If not, sorry your mom was mean to you. I stalked this popular girl in our school on Instagram and accidentally uploaded her bikini pic in my story. I only saw the post 16 hours later. I don't know if she ever knew about it. She was only a new student at that time, but got popular because of her looks. I've been called an idiot and a dumbass over and over, but that was a year ago. Now she is the GF of my old friend. Yikes. Yikes. I was a troublesome young person. So the first time I got arrested as an adult I called my uncle and was like, "Hiya. Funny story. I'm in jail. Bail." And he said I wouldn't. Yeah. But this is real life now. Still. Nah damn it. Ouch. That must have hurt. Hopefully must have been an eye-opener as well though carrot. This is actually from a friend. He really liked to explore abandoned buildings. One night he decided to explore the abandoned military base in our city. At one point during his exploration he threw some rocks and broke a window. Then he heard a voice yelling, "Hold it right there. Freeze." That's how he found out the military base was in fact not abandoned at all. Makes me wonder if they would have just let him be if he hadn't thrown the rock. To be honest, we do need a test subject. My previous relationship was really not going too well, and I was considering ending it. In hindsight, should have ended it way before I did. Anyway, I was texting my mum how am I supposed to be happy and celebrate his birthday with him when I know I don't want to be with him and I just want to end this. Somehow, the message didn't end up going to my mum, but to my ex. 3 whole days before his birthday. Needless to say, it was a pretty crappy few months after /view 200D. Wait, it lasted few more months. How did it finally end? It lasted almost 7 months more. Thought he was being legitimate about trying to work through the issues. That got me contemplating leaving, but it finally ended when the truth came out that he cheated the entire duration of our relationship /view 200D. In 6th grade we were in Spanish class, in Spain BTW, and we were thinking of phrases to express feelings and I wrote Hijo de la chupacabra, which means son of a goat sucker, the chupacabra. One of my classmates talked me into saying it as an example. The entire class laughed, and the teacher just looked at me like I was nuts. Best and worst memory. Why on earth is there a word for goat sucker in Spanish? It's a mythical animal that sucks the blood of goats. When my college counselor looked over my transcript and said, "Son, have you considered the army? Oh god, that's cold." My little brother and I, 9 and 12 respectively, were fighting, as brothers do. I don't know why, but I hadn't trimmed my nails in a bit. I raked his back. His back started to bleed. He started screaming. I didn't even try to silence him. I said a quick sorry and ran out of the house. Came back and it was locked. About an hour later mom opened the door and said that dad was furious and was gonna probably take it out on my ass in the morning. He did. It's how I woke up that day. Morning. Kathy, welcome to hell. SpongeBob's voice, hi, how are ya? Hanging out in a Cambodian guest house and met a group of people. Shook their hands. 5 days later one of the guys I met died in his room from a fever and lung issues. Then I started getting sick. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.